So good day everyone, I am Micaela Bautista and today we will talk about the IDEA as a comparative benchmark and the PD 603, the Child and Youth Welfare Code. So these are our learning objectives. Differentiate IDEA and PD 603 in terms of legal enforceability and educational provisions. Design simple inclusive classroom strategies inspired by IDEA while grounded in the context of PD 603 and appreciate the importance of international benchmark in strengthening local educational policies like PD 603. So let us begin by defining benchmarking. So when we say benchmarking, it is defined as a standard used to evaluate policies, systems, and practices. In education, it involves comparing local educational processes with high-performing international models, just like the IDEA. So in other words, when we say benchmarking, it is the reference point or the standard for inclusive education in educational context rather. Now let us talk about IDEA in the US as a comparative benchmark. So when we say IDEA, it is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act in the United States, and it is a federal law. So when we say federal law, it is a law created by national government in the U.S. For everyone in the country. So it doesn't have any specific target. So all states or regions should comply with this law. Of So IDEA ensures that students with disabilities receive free, appropriate, and inclusive education. It is also often used as a benchmark when comparing special education policies across countries like the Philippines. And aside from this, IDEA is also a right-based law, which means that it is not a privilege but a legal entitlement. So the purpose of IDEA is to exist. It exists to ensure inclusion, support, and equal education among students with disabilities. So one of the main key provision of IDEA is the free appropriate public education or FAPE. So FAPE is designed to meet the individual's unique needs as well as to provide access to the general curriculum. So students with disabilities have a right, as I have said earlier, IDEA is a rights-based, and students with disabilities is received an education that is designed specifically for their needs and helps them truly learn and grow. And now let us proceed to the second key provision, which is the Individualized Education Program or the IEP. So when we say IEP, it shifts education from a one-size-fits-all approach to individualized planning. Meaning to say, kanang mga persons with disabilities or child with disabilities, they have their own individualized plan para makater ang ilahang needs. This is So the individualized education planning process is central to special education or the heart of the special education because it involves collaboration among teachers and support personnel to design and implement personalized supports that addresses the unique needs of the students. So the purpose of IEP is to identify all areas where the child requires support or wants to grow academically, socially, or behaviorally. So it really depends on unsay need jud sa student. It also decide which needs are most critical for the child's success as of the moment. And now we have the stages of developing IEP. So in developing IEP, we have four stages. Let The stage one is gathering and sharing information. So in this stage, it's like getting to know the students because uh, the goal of this stage is to unlock the interests, talents, and desires of the child, as well as the strengths and needs where the child should, where the IEP should be focused. Stage 2 is setting direction. Focuses team on important learning priorities. So the team doesn't decide randomly. They use all the information collected and gathered so far about the child's abilities, weaknesses, and needs. Uh, this might include assessment, results, teachers' observation, parents' input, and previous progress reports. So the core of this stage is to identify all areas where the child requires support or wants to grow academically, socially, or behaviorally. Now we have now we have the stage 3. So this stage is about the student is turning what we know about the students into clear, specific goals, developing and writing the IEP. So these goals define what the student should be able to do by a certain time frame and making it easier to guide instruction and measure progress. Now we have the last stage, implementing and reviewing the IEP. In this stage, it is about doing the plan, checking progress, and improving it as needed. This is where we put the IEP into action. So why is IDEA a strong benchmark? It is a strong benchmark because it emphasizes personalized support, inclusion, and measurable outcomes, which are principles that any strong education system should aim to follow. Let us proceed to PD 603, the Child and Youth Welfare Code. PD 603 emphasizes individualized care and education for children with special needs, including the emotionally disturbed and socially maladjusted or physically and mentally challenged children. But it's not solely focused on those children because the PD 603 para ni siya sa tanan nga student sa Philippines or children rather. So overall, PD 603 promotes inclusive education, holistic child welfare and growth, especially collaboration to support all children's development. PD 603 ensures that all children have the rights to care, guidance, and protection, while also addressing the unique needs of gifted, emotionally disturbed, or physically and mentally um, handicapped children. So this law promotes individualized supports, understanding, and opportunities, allowing every child to develop their fullest potential. So to sum everything up, the Presidential Decree 603 ensures children's protection, care, and holistic development, supporting inclusive education. While on the other hand, the IDEA, it focuses on educational rights for children with disabilities. Okay, diba, PD 603 doesn't only focuses on children with disabilities, it's for every children in the Philippines. So together with the Ed 204, which discusses the special education and inclusive for children, these frameworks promote equitable access to education, shared responsibility, and individualized support, enabling every child to reach their fullest potential. So both law, they protect and nurtures all children and enables inclusion for those children who needs more and special care. And that is all. Thank you for listening.